Good evening, everybody. My name is David Postings. I'm the Chief Executive of UK Finance. I shall be brief this evening, but I wanted to express my thanks at being invited here and at the great collaborative work between the two all-party groups and also the industry that I represent, which is all the banks and finance companies. Economic crime, fraud, are weasel words. They sound so anodyne, but actually behind them is prostitution, people trafficking, drugs, real serious crime that affects everybody in this country, and it is at epidemic proportions. Damien mentioned earlier that it represents the single largest crime in the country by volume. It's 40%, and it's rising rapidly. The members of UK Finance fund a joint embedded force of City of London Police, Metropolitan Police and UK Finance individuals that track some of these large frauds down. And last year we saved £101 million and sent several people to prison. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's more we can do, a lot more we can do. And I really welcome this second economic crime bill. It's something we've wanted for a very long time. I want to highlight four things in particular. Information sharing, I think, between sectors will be really, really important. The increase in powers for Companies House and the funding to support that, I think, is really important. It's vital that they're able to look at existing companies as well as just new companies coming through. It's a huge task. This is not a trivial piece of work. Also, crypto. Crypto can be good, but we all know that it's the choice method for cashing out of frauds at the moment, particularly on push payment scams. Once something goes into crypto, it's very hard to trace, and greater regulation of that sector, I think, is absolutely essential. And finally, I want to spend a little bit longer on fraud and scams. This is something that I've personally tried to drive through UK Finance and with our members. We've got an action group. We're about to appoint an independent chair, and we want to make a real difference, not just talk about it, but really make a difference. So we spend some time with Damien on a regular basis talking about these issues, and there are two facets to it really for me. One is to bring in the telcos and tech sector where a lot of this fraud emanates. We've got something called the Online Fraud Steering Group, which has made a start, but it's baby steps at the moment. There's a lot more we can do, and I'm pleased about the Online Fraud Safety Bill, which will bring them into the fold and mean that they are held accountable, because most of the advertising, most of the fraud emanates on those platforms, and we need to do something about that, and so do they. And then the second piece I want to look at is the payment journey to do with push payment, because there are things the industry itself can do, and we might need further changes in legislation down the line and in regulation to allow payments to maybe slowed at times, for banks to be able to talk to each other and repatriate funds and trace them before they get cashed out into crypto. All of those things are on our agenda. I want to make a difference to the pounds amount that is lost, rather than spend lots and lots of time having sterile debates about who should pay. Let's just reduce the fraud amount. Let's reduce economic crime and work together. Thank you very much.